If Nina were to ever die, you would be dead. All of you. Nina dies, you die. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm MrFonrath, back again with some more Monster. Let's go through a little recap. Last episode, Tenma shot Roberto. We got confirmation that Tenma literally double tapped Roberto. Now, is he dead? Unlikely. He fell off the railing. It didn't look that bad, actually. Like, it did look like he got shot, but he, we didn't see his body. And we have to remember that there was the Johnny Bravo looking ass also there, so she probably got him out. We also actually learned some more about the twins' backstory. Or, well, maybe not backstory, but like a connection to the twins' mother. Margot Langer apparently was the best friend, or had a best friend, that was the mother of twins from Prague. I wonder who those twins were. And then apparently, I think, Johan met Margot again later on. And then Margot, some years later, mysteriously died to some phantom killer. And then we left off with Johan essentially facing off against Tenma, just kind of walking past him. And Nina also showed up, and Nina fired like her entire magazine at kinda in Johan's direction, but it didn't look like he got hit or anything. It could be that Nina missed on purpose from that distance. I don't know. Point is, we're just gonna have to see. It is what it is. Episode 39 of Monster.
We've just confirmed at least 5 are dead and 34 injured due to a fire
5 are
that
dead.
broke out here at the University of Munich's Friedrich Emanuel Campus Library. A grueling search for the missing is still underway. Earlier, we had a chance to talk to some of the survivors. Let's take a look.
I just suddenly found myself surrounded by fire everywhere. The smoke was so thick in the air I could hardly breathe. I thought I would die.
Then somebody rushed in and saved us. Yeah, he was this young Asian man. Is he all right? I saw him shoot the hinges off the door to get it open, but after that, if it weren't for him, so many of us would have died.
The police have confirmed that
Told
the
ya.
fire was started with a mixed...
Like I said last
kerosene
episode, if Nina were to ever die, you would be dead. All of you. Me included. The world would be gone, just like that. I'm taking out my Infinity Gauntlet. And my Infinity Stones. Just like that. Gone. Everything. Nina dies, you die. The hell in his eyes.
It's completely destroyed. So much for this so-called legacy of human wisdom. Ashes to ashes, I guess.
Were there any fingerprints on the sniper rifle we found?
I don't think we're going to be able to pull any reasonable prints. On the other hand, the weapon is a Mauser SR-93, just like the one purchased by that Japanese man who we believe to be Dr. Tenma. I'm telling you, it's going to be difficult to find any trace of the perpetrator. A fire this hot really cleans a crime scene.
There's no such thing as a clean crime scene. Someone was here, and nobody can do anything without leaving some sort of trace of themselves. If there were such a person, he could hardly be considered human.
But let's suppose someone was here and that we still couldn't find any trace of him. Who does that?
Only a demon. However, since no such thing exists, there must be someone real to arrest.
I really wonder what Lunge's viewpoint on this is now. So by Lunge's viewpoint, it's probably going to be something like, well, Tenma bought the sniper rifle intending to kill Schuvold. And then he also set up the gasoline in the library as a backup plan, and then maybe the gasoline, someone accidentally blew up the gasoline or something, and then his backup plan kind of took over his primary plan, which was the sniper rifle kill, and then accidentally lost control of the fire, and then everything was Tenma's fault. Everything is Tenma's fault. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Lunge thinks.
You're being unreasonable, sir. He's not ready for visitors yet.
He's conscious, isn't he? I only need a few minutes of his time.
My patient, Mr. Schuvold, is suffering from severe shock. He needs absolute quiet.
Is he?
Who's the young man?
Oh, him. That's Mr. Schuvold's son.
I'm sorry such a terrible thing happened to your father.
I mean, at this point, there is no fucking way, okay, that he does not learn of Johan, right? It's practically impossible. If you asked, like, Carl or Schuvold, they would both say, or at least mention Johan, because Johan is Schuvold's secretary, who was also there, supposedly. It's like there's no fucking way you can just pretend that Johan doesn't exist. You know?
Okay, I'm with the BKA.
There's so many
Sir,
points pointing to
I know I've already
Johan,
talked to the police about
but
this,
like...
but there's someone I really need to find. Wait, who is he?
The person in that photograph is the man who tried to assassinate your father.
How the fuck do you know
Are you
this?
sure you don't recognize him?
I've never seen him before. But maybe you
Show him
would.
the other picture. Show him the other picture, please. Fucking Lunge, bro. Show him the picture of the blonde-haired boy, huh? That you have?
Johan?
That's what I've been trying to tell everybody. His name is Johan Liebert, and I need you to find him.
Johan Liebert, eh?
The last time I saw Johan, he was going to attend the ceremony at the library with my father. But I've searched everywhere, and I can't find him.
Johan Liebert.
Yes, I understand. I'll call for a search immediately.
Okay, that's
This
progress.
is the room Johan Liebert was renting.
That's progress. I'm not talking about what he said, like, to order, like, I'll order a search immediately. I'm talking about, like, the fact that he was thinking back on all those times when Johan was mentioned by other people, like Rudy and, well, Tenma again, as well, I suppose. But that's progress, right? That is progress, that he's actually, like, not just, you know, it's not going in one ear and out the other, right? Like, usually. So he actually, like, hears the word Johan now, which is good. That is progress. It's big progress.
Like I said before, he moved out of here 2 weeks ago.
Oh, how convenient. He was living here and he moved out all of a sudden. How convenient, Lunge. How convenient, bro. The hand is not moving. Almost because there's nothing. It's so clean.
We checked at the law school at Friedrich Emanuel, but his name didn't show up at the registrars. He really wasn't a student.
Didn't he say his parents lived in Offenbach? What about them?
Yeah, that parent angle turned out to be another dead end. It seems they never really talked to any of their neighbors. I guess there's nothing left to do except dust for prints, huh?
We're probably not going to find anything. I have no data to input.
Exactly, right? Because Johan is so clean that, as he said, he doesn't have anything to input, right? And that's why I guess he believes so hard that he just doesn't exist. Because as he said earlier, someone who doesn't leave any trail or any sign that he was there cannot exist, or would have to be a demon, and those don't exist, right? That's why he's, I guess, so adamant that he just doesn't exist and is a figment of Tenma's imagination. And yet, you have a picture. You have a picture of him. He was on TV. You have a trail. You have actual physical evidence that he exists. And if that guy exists, he is seen on TV again with Schuvold and all the other people over there. Like, of course he has to be living somewhere, and you know that he's been living here, and there's no evidence. It's almost like this guy is, well, this type of demon that you were speaking about, someone who doesn't leave any trail. Except the fact is, you know he exists. There's evidence that he does exist. It's just that he doesn't leave any trail wherever he goes.
I've never seen a room so devoid of any human presence.
Yeah.
I am Johan. I am Johan Liebert. Who am I? I was here. But I don't exist. Am I a demon?
Progress? Progress, maybe? I feel like that's progress. I feel like that is progress, okay? 100%. I feel like that's progress. I think he was like, oh my god, a second person that, like, if this exists, holy shit, this is great, right? Like, if this person really exists, if this type of demon exists who doesn't leave any trace, again, holy shit, yes, bro. This is a great, amazing case that I love trying to crack, right? And he's having fun. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm so sick of him trying to... I'm so sick of him not looking at all the facts and then just trying to ignore that some part of the case just doesn't exist.
Glad your injuries weren't that bad, Nina.
I'm sorry to make you worry, Loda. Thank you.
Well, of course I was gonna worry about you. I mean, they kept pulling survivors out of the library and you were still nowhere to be found. I didn't know what had happened to you. Still, it's a miracle you made it out of the library all on your own with those injuries. Even the firefighters were shocked.
That's because someone saved me.
Somebody saved you? Nina, you were the last person that made it out of the building.
A Japanese man.
Huh?
Do you know if there was a Japanese doctor among any of the survivors?
There were some Japanese people, but all of them were just businessmen.
That is impossible.
Huh?
Inside the library, I was trapped under a curtain when he found me.
Nina! Nina! Nina!
I'm sure that he was real. I know he was.
Huh?
According to witnesses, just before the fire started,
Does she not... Amnesia? Huh? Oh, huh? Or maybe she does remember, she just doesn't want to say his name to Lota or whatever. I mean, I guess we'll
told
find out.
everyone attending the ceremony to evacuate. Why? What would cause you to do something like that? You knew something was about to happen. Was that it, Mr. Schuvald?
Why don't we call it a day?
Mr. Schuvald, do you know the man in this photograph? Can you see the man in the photograph clearly, sir?
Dude's blind.
This is the
Bro.
man who we believe tried to assassinate you. We have witnesses placing him
dude's
at
blind.
the library. But
Bro's
here's what doesn't
blind.
make sense to me. All of our witnesses claim to have seen this man rescuing people from the fire.
Bro's blind, bro.
Look, that's enough.
Dude.
Please, just let him rest.
Dude, bro's blind.
Don't forget to contact me if you should remember anything else. Just one more thing. Do you know where your secretary, Johan Liebert, has disappeared to?
Please.
See that reaction?
Leave already.
Just leave already! Shut the
Looks
fuck
like
up,
he's
bro.
gone, Colin.
The reason I am so hostile with that type of shit. Look, I have nothing against Carl, but I'm sorry, but like every single time, and I get it. It's like a you know, classic, you know, a police investigation, trying to get information from someone in the hospital. I'm sorry, but like, dude, just ask the question. And like, I get someone who is in the hospital might have some, you know, pretty bad like trauma or something like that, but like it's one thing if the person in question, the person being questioned is like, hey, just leave me alone, I don't want to talk about this right now, give me some time, or something like that, right? It's another thing when people start like saying shit on the other person's, on their behalf. I hate that shit. I hate it when someone tries to speak on someone else's behalf. Because, like, it was a basic question. You know, it's not like he was yelling at him or anything like that. Just ask the basic question for good reason, right? If you don't want to answer it, just say that you don't want to answer it or don't answer it, right? But, like, that guy, you know, Carl in that case, just shut the fuck up. You know, like, if Shuvald doesn't answer, okay, fine. You can just say, hey, well, maybe you can try again later. You don't have to be like, hey, leave us alone, go away. Yeah, you know, like, just, dude, why? You don't have to be so fucking hostile all the time. It's like anybody who tries to get information from someone who is injured, there's always that one, the family members or whatever, always getting hostile, trying to protect the person who was injured from getting questioned. It's like, fuck off. Like, just fuck off. If you're really trying to help the you know, your loved one who was injured, you would try to get to the bottom of the situation quickly so they don't have to think about it anymore. Because you know that if they don't get any answers, the detectives are gonna come back to ask you again later. You know, like, of course they are. That's kind of the point. But Lunge, you saw the reaction. You said Johan's name, and then bam.
Understood every word I said.
Oh.
Let's question the other witnesses, shall we? Do you have the list of victims?
Oh, yeah. But what's this all about? We have testimonials that point to our man Tenma.
Oh yeah, Nina's there as well, right?
Maybe it's just like that multiple personality theory?
Nina.
Yep.
Nina Fortner.
Hummer, yes, Hummer. The gears are turning.
If you're looking for Nina Fortner, she checked out of the hospital this morning.
And unfortunately, the address we have for her in the police register is fictitious. How about the hospitals?
Yes, sir. I'll look it up right now.
Nina Fortner.
Thank you for sharing such a painful story with me. You know, Nina, it matches up perfectly with another story from 10 years ago told to me by Dr. Tenma.
Tenma?
Yes, and that story started him down a path that led him here. And from here he set off on his journey to kill Johan. Nina, that day I went to the library because I thought that Tenma was going to carry out his assassination attempt. Another story from 10 years ago told to me by Dr. Tenma.
From another story from 10 years ago. Not that the story was told 10 years ago. Okay, for a second I thought Tenma had told Reifein a story 10 years ago that he was going to try to find Johan and kill him. For a second I thought it's been 10 years since he started going to look for Johan and trying to kill him.
I went to the library because I thought that Tenma was going to carry out his assassination attempt. But then with that fire, I don't even know for sure if Tenma was there. Let alone Johan. Please, Nina, let go of any thoughts of chasing down Johan. He's not someone you can handle yourself. Look, I know the police don't seem very helpful, but we have to try and lay low and take our time to fight this. I promise the truth will be revealed in time. It's okay. We're all here for you.
Tenma, I saw him that day. Tenma was there in the library.
I think the best thing they could do is create some sort of secret code or some sort of secret messaging method or some sort of just keep in contact somehow, right? But still work separately. Find a way to share information so that Johan doesn't find out, so you can keep in contact but don't actively stick together all the time, because that's a big mistake, I feel like. When you're fighting against someone who has so many contacts in so many places, you wanna work separately, like very like scattered, but at the same time you wanna be like in contact. At least that's my opinion, just personally.
You've got to eat something. I know, Dieter. Thank you. It's called a Kaiser roll. It has roasted ham and Gouda cheese on it. Tenma
Gouda
really
cheese.
likes them. That's very kind of you. Nothing picks me up like something delicious. Tenma always used to say that too. I want to see him. I want to see Tenma again. Yeah.
Bridge. There were 3.
Father, what is it? Are you trying to tell me something?
The 3 frogs. 3 frogs. In his eyes.
What?
I saw hell right there in his eyes. Hell in the eyes of a living human being. Carl.
Yes?
I need you to deliver a message to a certain man.
Tenma?
Yes.
There's a man waiting in Dresden.
In Dresden? What do you want me to say when I find
Who?
him?
Who?
I want you to tell him that
Yes.
to...
And the man in Dresden, he'll know what you're talking about, right? So, should I leave now, Father?
I'm afraid.
I see. Afraid of what?
I don't know. But I'm afraid.
Try and stay calm. We need you to remember. Just go slow.
Like a town from a fairy tale.
A fairy tale village. Where was it? The feelings that you had when you were looking at this picture book. Just tell me whatever pops into your head.
Dr. Gillen, careful.
Just a little bit more.
Stop! That's enough!
There were 3. There were 3 frogs.
There were 3 frogs?
3 frogs.
What are you talking about?
Picture.
What? Is there a picture of 3 frogs in the children's book that made Johan faint?
I've been through that book cover to cover a dozen times, and I've never seen a single frog anywhere.
Then where did you see them?
It's all right.
Is there a reason why they have that big ass light just on her? Maybe it's like a way to help her get into the correct mindset or something. Who knows? It just felt like a total interrogation light, you know? 3 frogs.
Going
I
on
mean,
record saying it was a mistake to trust that Inspector Lunge from the BKA.
I'm not gonna even try bothering what the fuck 3 frogs
Next
means.
time we take anything to the authorities, we'll talk to his superiors. And that's only after we've taken our time to gather irrefutable evidence to support our claim. Agreed?
I'm guessing Lota is now in the group as well. I'm guessing she knows everything as well.
You think we should take our time? How much time?
As of now, the profile we built for Johan is vague and unimpressive at best. Johan was Schuwald's secretary. It's reasonable to think Schuwald might have some information. But he's not taking visitors at the moment. How about his son, Carl?
Don't know. He's been gone for the past couple of days now, and I can't get a hold of him.
It's nothing concrete, but I've heard some of the witnesses say that an anonymous Asian man was seen rescuing people from the library fire.
But if they find Tenma's fingerprints on the sniper rifle, then all those witness reports won't mean anything. They'll just assume he's guilty. Why wouldn't they? It all will have been for naught.
How long do we have to wait? We don't have any time. By the time the truth is revealed and the police finally make a move, by that time, Tenma, he'll already be...
I understand how you feel about this.
I also understand how she feels about this. But the fact is, I don't think this is about protecting Tenma anymore. I don't think it ever was. I think it is about stopping Johan. Proving that Johan exists and stopping him. Right? I at this point, I don't think, like, this whole thing is not about saving Tenma. As much as, you know, Nina wants Tenma to keep his hands clean and prove his innocence, it's not about that anymore. I don't think it ever was. You know, I think it's about stopping Johan. That's all it is. Right? And honestly, even if Tenma goes down for it, you know, goes to jail for it, ultimately the greater good here is stopping Johan. I do, however, don't think that they should be keeping Dieter in the same room when they're discussing this shit. Big liability. What the f... 3 frogs? Like, what the fuck does that mean?
I remember.
Omoidase. What do you remember? Tell me now. Please, Nina. Don't do this to me. Please. Please. Ah, she's leaving again. Ah, it's Dieter. Of course it is.
I'm going to.
Oh, fuck me, bro. Why?
Dieter! I wanna.
Well, I don't wanna.
See Tenma.
Okay, Dresden. Are we gonna see what Carl is up to? Who are you meeting? Tell who what?
Carl.
Okay, so I was right, Tenma.
Right?
Wait, it's you.
The man who was attempting to assassinate your father. Is that what the police told you?
Yeah.
Well, at least it doesn't look like they have anybody tailing you. For 3 days, I've been watching you from that building. All right, you can give me the message now. Try and hold on. We're almost out of here.
True.
Just run. You have to go. The police are on their way.
But I can't just...
In Dresden, the public square by the station. My son Carl will bring you a message.
Give me the message.
Here it is.
Shadok Bridge and the 3 frogs.
My father said something else also. If the monster that you're chasing happens to have a twin...
The mother of those same twins is still alive in Prague.
Oh, shit. Oh! Let me just write this down. The mother is still alive. Or so Shuval thinks. But we're definitely making a lot of progress. Lunge seemingly, maybe, just maybe, thinking a little bit more of Johan now. Maybe. A little bit more, you know? It's progress. Progress. That's all I can ask from Lunge, okay? Just progress, okay? Just a little bit progress toward Johan. Not Tenma, but Johan, right? I think finally we're getting to a point where Lunge is getting bombarded with like witness testimony from a bunch of people saying, hey, Johan is this, Johan is that, Johan over here, Johan over there, Johan blonde-haired kid, Johan in picture blonde-haired kid, Johan secretary of Shuval, Johan, right? So finally maybe the message is starting to get through that Johan does exist. And if Johan does exist, based off of all these witness, statements, that means that wherever he lives must be where he lives, which is this apartment where he went to. But you clearly see that it's almost like there was no one here, right? But it's been proven that he was living here, supposedly, right? So now you have evidence of his existence, but it's almost like he doesn't exist. But you know he does. So, you know, it's someone who doesn't leave any trace. Interesting, isn't it? That's why he laughed. So yeah, Lunge is making progress. Nina, being the best character that she is, still alive, obviously. She better be. And she better stay that way. Shuvald deciding to send Tenma a message about, again, I couldn't really hear what they were saying with the bridge. Like the name of some bridge or something, like something bridge. 3 frogs. Don't know what the fuck any of that means. And a fairy tale village. So I'm guessing a fairy tale village. There's a bridge of some kind, and then there's 3 frogs. Whatever that may be. Maybe it's some sort of village, and then the picture book was created in the village, about the village, like some sort of fairy tale, some sort of traditional fairy tale inside that Prague village or something. Who knows? I'm not really sure. Like, so they try to get Nina to remember stuff. She couldn't remember, but then when she did remember, like the next day when she woke up, she decides to leave without saying goodbye or anything. It's like, dude, Nina, bro, my girl, if you remembered something, okay, sure, you want to leave, okay, at least hopefully she left some sort of note saying, hey, I remembered this and this and this and this and this and this and this, right? And I'm going to go do this, hopefully. Right, because if she did remember some very critical information, hopefully she left some note behind telling them of this information, right? I'm hoping she didn't take critical information with her and didn't tell our allies here, you know, what she remembered. But yeah, I mean, and then fucking Dieter, like, it's been over half the show, okay? And I still have not seen a single reason why this kid is here. Not a single one. Legitimately. Not a single one. He's just been around, kind of doing nothing, I guess. Occasionally has talks with people, like here, right? Where she was like bringing, where he was bringing food to Nina and you know, stuff like that. That's fine, okay. But like, he's a realistic portrayal of a child. But you know that real children are useless. They are children. They're dumbasses. It is what it is. That's just how it is. And that's why children in stories and stuff, that's why it's never fun. It's never interesting. Because if you're having a child character and you were expected to have a realistic portrayal of a child, then the character's going to be a dumbass, because children realistically are dumbasses, right? So it's like, you can't have a child character that does things and is useful and like stuff like that, because real children don't do things and are not useful. And like, that's the point, right? The only exception to this are shows where, or stories where the children are smarter than normal, like Promised Neverland, for instance, or shows where the child is some sort of chosen one or something, or they have some sort of superpower that makes them important. Those are the shows that kind of get away with it. But when you have a child that isn't really important to the story, and it's just a realistic portrayal of a child, they're gonna just be there and not really do anything. That's my problem, right? Because I'm of the mentality that, and you can ask pretty much, not all writers, but like, you can ask pretty much like a good chunk of writers, and they'll tell you that if you have a character in a show or story or whatever, so this is how it kind of works, right? If you have a character in a story that is so pointless that if you take this character out of the story and the story stays the same, you probably should, right? If your character has no impact on the story as a whole at all, to the point where you can just remove them from the story and nothing will change, or you can maybe just do a couple of small changes here and there to fix the whole, then this character is completely pointless, right? And I am a firm believer in this, right? If you're gonna have a character in the main group, this character needs to have a purpose. Now, some stories, for instance, will have a comedic relief character, and that's fine. But Dieter here is not a comedic relief character, right? He's just there. He doesn't do anything. Maybe you can argue that he's like the moral compass or something, like, you know, kid tries to do the good thing all the time, you know, tries to make sure that no one does anything bad. But I'm sorry, like, a child's ideal version of the world, that everything is gonna be great, it's like, that's boring. It just is. But regardless, enough of that. With this meeting, though, with Carl and Tenma, I'm guessing Carl is also gonna kind of have an idea of, essentially an idea that maybe it's not as simple as, oh, this Tenma guy tried to assassinate your father, right? It's not that simple. And considering Lotta is now in on the whole Johan thing as well, I would imagine if Lotta and Carl meet up again, you know, Carl will also learn of Johan's whole, you know, situation. But yeah, a really good episode. Oh yeah, and the mother of twins is alive, by the way. I guess we'll see where that goes. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed episode 39 of The Monster. I sure did. And I'll see you at episode 40.